So I understood a lot of my original background in Latakia when I left Latakia. And I understood the time when I lived in Beirut during the civil war, when I left Beirut. When I look back in my life, in my childhood, it was amazing. Living with fishermen, with the boats, with the ships. The harbor and the port was there. We used to see people from all kinds of backgrounds and nationalities and colors in Latakia. We are, the people at the coast usually are more open because of the sea. But at the same time, the sea poses a struggle and a challenge because the sea can be very, very hard. I'm sure if you examine the hands of Peter, our beloved Peter, the apostle, his hands were rough, pulling the nets and wrestling with the sea. It wasn't easy, but it was a joy. That was his life, and that was my life. To relate to the sea. Actually, my friends and family, they call me Ibn al-Bahr, which means in English, the son of the sea. And when I write poetry, I sign, or when I paint, I sign the son of the sea. Because I feel the sea is in me. There is a kind of unity. I understand Jesus relating to that community at the coast of the Galilee, Sea of Galilee, and how he also related to the shepherds away from the sea, because he was open. He was open and he was ready to engage with multiple forms of communities.
While you were in Syria, but also while you were in this country, you did a lot of work to get people together, to be peacemakers, to get to know each other, and you started the Awareness Foundation. So could you share a little bit about what that is, what the aims of it are, what your vision and passion is with the Awareness Foundation?
Is to build bridges between East and West, and to empower the people of the East to look at the West and see, other than source of war or imperialism, or they are coming to dominate us, and outside the political games internationally, and also to help and empower the West to look east and see beyond terrorism. Both are beyond that. But actually, the politicians and the ideologies and the interests of the countries come first. And because of that, I believe with all my heart that the war in Syria is a proxy war. We, the Syrians, have almost nothing to do with it, but we were used by international and regional powers to kill each other for different interests. And the Awareness Foundation is passionate about building peacemakers in the East and in the West, to be agents of change, and to say, wait, there is life in the East and in the West beyond politics, and beyond trading arms, and beyond oil, and beyond gas, and beyond energy resources. And this story is about humanity. And the Awareness Foundation, during the war in Syria and in Iraq, we built connections and we engaged with hundreds of young people. And we made them ambassadors for peace, who who have still the vision beyond politics, beyond violence, who believe that the economy of peace is more beneficial than the economy of war. And we all believe that with all our hearts. And this is what we should highlight and fight for. To say, we don't need to sell arms and weapons in order to achieve peace in the sense of this side won or this side won. We want humanity to win. And this is why Jesus came, that humanity would win, because humanity won the heart of God.
What advice would you give to someone who's maybe not used to meeting someone from another culture, who's just starting out, building a friendship, wondering, how do I say the right thing, don't want to be awkward, who really wants to get to know someone from another culture? What advice would you give them as they take those first steps?
First of all, try to approach anyone without judgment and accept that we all have our prejudices. No one is prejudice free. And we need to accept first that I make a step towards you, but I am cautious and I'm afraid how you would react to me, or what kind of step you would take towards me. So make the step in honesty and in love. Love the human inside the other person. Don't see his color or her color. Don't see their background, what they eat, how they dress, what they believe in. See the image of God in them. That would help you to make the step towards an equal. And everything else, you need to get to know. You need to learn. And also, avoid expectations. Avoid expectations that the other knows who you are. They don't. If they do anything out of ignorance to who you are, don't take it immediately personal, and don't be easily insulted or easily offended. Listen. You know, sometimes we meet only with those who agree with us. And that is not very helpful. What about who don't agree with us? Would that make them enemies? Who am I to draw circles and I decide who is in, who is out? Let me always remember that ultimately God drew the biggest circle and invited us all to be in and no one to be out. So break those circles and approach the other without prejudice and without expectation, in the spirit of learning. It's the best attitude, and the best you present yourself as honest as possible, without being hasty to tell them what you believe and they are wrong and you are right. Let's go beyond that and let's get to know each other. This is the basic human interaction. God came to us and started learning as a child what it is like to be human. And sometimes challenging, sometimes difficult, sometimes frustrating, and also wonderful, exciting, and constructive for the whole community. Because of that, he persevered in that journey. And should we persevere in that journey of getting to know each other on the basic level?